Okay guys, even though I did a wrap-up video already for the Northern International Audio Video Show in Penang, Malaysia, I mentioned in that video I still have a lot more content to give you. Interviews, including very important interview that I'm sharing with you today with the show organizer, Wilson, because he's been able to create in just 3 short years an amazing show that's held at this convention center combined with the local government. And it has a soul to it that even though it's not the biggest show, certainly, for only 3 years, it's growing. And I think it's got a long-term success potential. And I want you to hear a lot more about him, his background, and why he does this, because his formula, I think, is the formula that more show organizers need to adopt to make this more accessible to people. And one thing I did notice, even though it was a small show, families, husband and wives, girlfriend and boyfriends, younger people, the variety of people here, the diversity of people at this show was very encouraging, and people all the way up to Sunday. But I'm gonna let you hear it straight from Wilson's mouth. Enjoy this interview and plenty more to come. Yeah, I just was talking with Wilson, who's show organizer, contacted me about coming to this show. And I just recorded actually my wrap up myself in my room. And I was saying, I've been living out of a suitcase, traveling so much. I was like 33 hours both ways. Should I really come to this? And I was like, this is one of the best decisions I made. And I thank you for inviting me, because this show was so unique in so many ways that I go to so many shows that I didn't want to see the same things I always see. Yeah. So I really appreciated everything I saw here, and the new appreciation for the culture here and what you've been able to accomplish in 3 short years is pretty amazing. But just for people that don't know who you are, maybe give us a little synopsis, introduction, and then we can talk about the show in general.
Right. My name is Wilson Tio. I'm the director of a company called Griffin Production. We are the promoters of the Northern International Audio and Visual Show in Penang, Malaysia. So my background is I'm a concert promoter. I used to promote a lot of Western artists, and then I did a lot of concert production where I put together concerts for people. I'm not the musical director or anything, but it's just putting on the physical show. So back in 2019, I came up with the idea of putting together a good hi-fi show. But looking at what's available in the market, it's always the same thing, just hi-fi and hi-fi. So in the past, I've done concerts, rave parties, music festivals. So why don't we bring that technology into hi-fi? So that's why you see that the show is a bit different from your run-of-the-mill show.
Well, it has AV in the title.
Yes.
And you did have visual. Even the 2-channel rooms usually had some kind of projector. And I've been a big proponent and fan of that. So it was great to see that as part of the equation. And then I was also impressed to see a lot of Malaysian-made products here.
Yes.
People are not probably aware that they have
right.
some. I have a full video I'm still going to release with the gentleman who makes the servers himself,
the
AA
music
Audio.
servers.
Yes, and even some speakers that are made
that's
here.
Right.
Yeah, and so that, and a lot of do-it-yourself amps and stuff. So I was very impressed with the culture here is very pro audio. And actually, I had a long-form video with Gary Coe. I haven't released that yet, but he says this is yes, his biggest concentration of customers for all of his stuff is here in Penang.
That's right.
So that's amazing that, this is an audiophile hotbed.
Okay, the whole concept of the show is about as much as we have the word audio and visual, the essence, the DNA is about whatever we hear and whatever we see. Because as it is, there's been a lot of talk for many decades that hi-fi is having a downward trend. The youngsters are now more into gadgets, IEMs. So we wanted it to appeal to the general public. There's no point appealing to the enthusiasts, you know. They may upgrade once or twice, but you need fresh meat coming into the industry. You know, fellow hobbyists, let's don't use the word fresh meat.
Right.
So we are trying to attract the general public.
Well, you
the
did
show.
that in spades. I've never seen the end of a show so crowded, and you even brought the cosplayers.
Yes, we had
And they
cosplayers.
and you had a concert at the end that
Yes,
they put
with
on.
Now Yoshoka.
That was, people were having a fun time. It was young people. I saw lots of families, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. That is really, and younger people.
Yes.
And even in the press, there were younger people.
Yeah.
So that is a key part of keeping the hobby going. So
Yes, it is.
you had enough for people that are hardcore enthusiasts. You had the Goldmans, you had Wilson Benesh,
Yes.
Magico, you know, Dolly. You had some very high-end systems.
That's right.
But you had stuff for all budgets, and I saw people buying stuff. I saw sold signs on stuff. This was much more of a comprehensive audio show, and it featured products that we as audiophiles think that it's all about just our listening room. But you need, if you're a true audiophile, you're going to worry about sound quality in your kitchen, in your living room, in other areas. And this show had a lot of those products that are affordable lifestyle products. So yeah, it's not the biggest show, but you're only in your third year. So to have a convention center and have everything that transpired, I was super impressed. And like I said, I think the trend is really going up. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
Anything else you wanted to share about the show?
We started out first year in Penang. It was a small show because everything's concentrated in the capital. Penang is about an hour's flight north.
All right.
It's a nice island, you know, it's a tourist destination. It's got a lot of British colonial influence. So when we wanted to do the show, I said it's going to be difficult to bring like 85% of the hi-fi is concentrated in the capital.
Yeah.
We felt that it would be difficult to bring the dealers up. But we said, never mind, let's try it out. So very simple. The state government picks up a fair share of the bill, quite a fair share, and I pick up a share of the bill.
Okay.
And for the first year, we said there will be no exhibition fee. So all the exhibitors came for free.
Wow.
They just cover their own logistics and whatever not, and their setup. So we took a punt, you know, let's try it out. And after the show, they felt that, yeah, up north there is a lot of old money, but they're just not used to spending on hi-fi. You know, Penang has got expensive property, relatively, for Malaysian standards. So they found that, you know, yeah, there is a potential market. So when we did the second year, we escalated it to a better hotel. It was at the Amari.
Yeah, very nice hotel.
Yeah, it's a lovely hotel. So at the Amari, we had only about 40 exhibitors. You know, not much space, but surprisingly, we turned over about $1 million US in sales, which includes Audi.
Oh yeah, so you sold 3 cars or something?
4 to 5 cars.
4 to 5
so
cars.
Audi was really surprised they could sell cars at a hi-fi show. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good for everyone. You know, they make money, I make money, I hope. So then after that, we felt that maybe it's time to escalate things a bit. So the state government was very gracious. So what they did was they visited Munich, high-end Munich.
Okay.
Then they said, maybe we should go like high-end Munich. And I was a bit cautious about it. You know, there were some trepidations. But then said, what the heck, you know, you only live once. So we said, right, let's go to a convention hall, 50,000 square feet. And we figured it out, you know, we worked together. You know, it was a good partnership, a good venture to be working with the state government. And we put on the show, and we felt that as much as what you have now, you know, recently on YouTube, on Facebook, you see those clips, the reels on 3 million US system with, you know, Wilson speakers, then the Agostino amplification, then not long after that somebody came out with a 4 million system. So I am taught that this is called oligarchy audiophile.
Right.
And that's not the way to go. We felt that it must be accessible so that we can feed more players into the industry, have more fellow enthusiasts. So that's why you see we do have affordable, simple systems.
Yeah, and this was a great litmus test to see what was popular. I mean, the traditional audiophile rooms were popular, but I was super impressed to see the Canto stuff.
Yes.
All the, you know, the more
Wims,
Weem,
Canto.
yes, all the stuff that was more affordable
Yeah.
was very well attended.
That is right.
And so it shows that the hobby, there is a formula, and you're tapping into the formula that I think a lot of these shows need to start
right.
paying attention to. And for me, seeing even the fun stuff, the cosplaying, if you make it a fun show, I think one of the takeaways I'll share with people is that sometimes when I go to American shows, people are kind of miserly. They're not that happy there. They're barely sitting in the sweet spot, if they even get the sweet spot, and they're not really excited about what they hear. And then they go to the next room and the same rinse and repeat. This had a lot of variety.
Yes.
You could go listen to seminars, concerts.
Yes.
The concert at night with Now was phenomenal.
Now Yoshoka is an amazing performer. She's a what they call a neo soul singer.
Yeah.
And she's not broken through fully yet, but I think this lady is going to make it big. The band was just so tight.
It was the best concert. The band was phenomenal. We did the tour with them the day before.
Yes,
I didn't
we
know
went
how
on tour.
great they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the best concerts I've seen at an audio show.
I mean, we don't want to be just another audio show.
Right.
There must be a soul to it. You know, you don't just put on the show. You know, okay, I got lots of exhibitors. You know, my P&L looks good.
Yeah.
That's why, like what you said, we wanted to also highlight local talents in terms of the audio industry talent. That's why we have AA Audio, double A Audio, where he builds his own servers, music servers.
Very impressed.
And he's also making his own interconnects, especially USB cables.
Okay.
And he will twist it to make sure he gets a 75 ohm or whatever.
Okay.
He's really fussy.
Yeah.
We have also some local people who make their own speakers. They design it themselves.
Yep.
Own amplification. So there is a lot of talent which we believe that we need to highlight so that it will, you know, make the industry more interesting. It can't be just about me making money. Of course I want to make money, let's be honest. I want to buy my nice, you know, BMW i8 or whatever.
Okay.
But it's good to give back, and as the whole industry grows, I will benefit from it, for sure.
Yeah.
Directly benefit.
Yeah. Well, you've taken a big risk, so you deserve the reward. For going what you
Still watching for the reward.
Okay.
We're waiting for it to, you know,
Well,
fruit.
you are giving back, and I think what I hope to highlight for my audience is that, which is mainly more North American based, but maybe inspire some of the show organizers there to take some of the things that you're doing right, and you're giving back to the industry, like you're doing proof of concept.
Yes.
And for the third year to have the, and really we shouldn't undervalue the coordination with the city government and the state government.
That is right.
That was very, and even they visited yesterday. You know, that was very powerful. That's a big benefit to showcasing the show, the culture, everything. And so you definitely have created what you said, a soul to this show.
Yes.
And I give you props for that. So yeah.
With the state government, it's not about connections, you know, having the right cables. What the proposition to them was to utilize this event to elevate Penang.
Yeah.
That it is a place for business events, that, you know, it's really happening. To create high impact, you know, events for Penang. So they see that value, and hence they are willing to invest in it. But it's not for forever, you know. It's just for 5 years.
Okay.
They want to show that we can build homegrown events. So I don't have to go and buy a brand from overseas, XXX, and then I pay them a royalty. So we grow it ourselves, we build it ourselves, we develop it. You know, it's about Penang pride, and Penang is a tourism island. You know, full of great street food.
Yes.
You know, colonial feel.
Yes.
And nice beaches. It's got a lot of good vibes here. I'm a Penang boy actually.
Okay.
It's my hometown.
Well, yeah, I got to see a little bit of it on Thursday, and my flight's not until 9 o'clock tomorrow night, so maybe I'll do a little touring tomorrow. But yeah, I definitely would plan on coming back. It definitely, I can see this show growing and getting even better. And my experience this year was phenomenal. So thanks again for inviting me.
Thank you for coming, you know, Jason. Really wonderful having you here. It's been great.
Well,
It's
awesome.
been great.
Well, hope to see you soon, and thanks again.
Again soon.
Okay.
Okay then, thank you.
Bye-bye.